Strategic plans lay out the big picture for us. Where do you want the business to go? Do you want to focus on a particular niche? Do you want to have extended hours? This is where you set goals for the business and give the business direction. The basic steps that need to take place in formulating a strategic plan are evaluation, creating goals and objectives, and budgeting. The first step is evaluating. You cannot set a goal for yourself without first knowing where you are today. You must first conduct a detailed evaluation of your practice. This snapshot of your practice will look at where your practice is financially, your current facility, current projects, staffing situation, your client load, other assets such as inventory, and the direction your practice is heading. A written evaluation of these items will help you to set realistic and attainable goals. This evaluation should remain with you for the entire goal-making process to act as a reminder and a reference in setting goals. From this written evaluation, you can begin developing your future goals and objectives. Goals and objectives will vary from one veterinary hospital to the next. A practice's size, staff, location, facility, income, and other components will largely affect the goal-making process. Ideas for goals and objectives will stem from brainstorming sessions with the practice ownership, meetings with the staff, and your own ideas and visions. Staff input into the hospital's future, where applicable, is vital and greatly aids employee morale. The time spent evaluating your hospital, talking with practice ownership, and meeting with staff will likely stimulate thoughts on where you'd like to direct the practice. These thoughts are the seeds for cultivating goals. For example, if your evaluation reveals decreasing growth in recent years, a natural goal may be to stimulate new practice growth. Marketing strategies, promotions, and other areas of client recruitment could be included in your new set of goals. This evaluation and goal-setting process takes time and focus. You should list any goal that comes to mind initially. This list can later be pruned back to a more reasonable quota. Potential areas you may wish to set goals in include personal leadership, education, and growth, growth in various practice statistics, new clients and pets, customer service, marketing, overall financial growth, staff and doctor development, facility changes and repairs, and new equipment or other acquisitions. This is the time to dream. If anything were possible, what would you like to see happen during the next year or two? Committing these goals to writing will ensure their coming to pass, but not writing them down will most assuredly limit what does come to pass. From your list, you will need to choose those goals that are the most beneficial to the practice and most realistically attainable. A helpful acronym to remember when selecting goals is that one must be SMART, specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time appropriate. A goal must be specific. General goals, such as I want to grow a bigger practice, should be made more specific. For example, you may want your practice to grow by attracting 30 new clients each month. That is obviously a more specific goal to be reached. A goal must be measurable. If a goal is not measurable, you'll not have a reference point to know if you achieved it or not. Let's look back at your goal of attaining 30 new clients per month. If you cannot properly measure the number of new clients coming into your practice, you will not know whether or not your goal has been achieved. A goal must be attainable. Tripling the revenues generated in a year is not very attainable and will only lead to discouragement. A goal must be relevant. Common sense dictates that the goal must relate to the big picture for where the practice is going. And finally, a goal must be time appropriate. Planning to achieve large goals during a busy time of the year may be unreasonable and should be moved to another time of the year. We'll discuss some time management techniques later in the program. SMART goals are achievable goals. Next, these goals should be shared with the practice owner or owners. The owner must be committed to the same direction and goals that you are if any progress is to be made. This also creates accountability. Letting others know what you are about to attempt makes you more likely to succeed. Conferring your goals with the owner will also allow for discussing a budget. You will need to prepare budget estimations for the amount of time and money each of these goals will require. The owner will also help determine if the budgeted investment is worth the final outcome and whether or not the funds are available. Counting the cost before you begin will prevent many failures and embarrassments. This meeting with the owner will likely result in a final list of practice goals for the coming year. Now it's time to transform your list of goals into an action list. Formulating an action list is simple but critical. It is the action list that you will use to transition from a strategic plan to a tactical plan. In order to make an action list, you need to change the phrase you use to describe the goal or objective by adding an action verb. Suppose you wrote as one of your objectives, "The waiting room needs to be painted." To convert this on your list into an action, restate it, "Paint the waiting room." Continue through the list and change all of the goals and objectives, adding an action verb and making the phrases active. Using an action list helps to change a goal into a work in progress. Once all of the phrases are changed to show an action, it's time to assign start and completion dates to them. This is the time to prioritize your work, putting early start dates on the most important jobs and later start dates on those jobs with less significance. For start dates, it's very important to spread your work out during the whole year. Then, once you've assigned the start dates, begin putting in estimated completion dates. The important thing to remember about completion dates is to be realistic. Think the project through carefully and assign a date that can be realistically met. Carefully consider all of the other things you and your staff have to do. While having early dates looks good on paper, you may set yourself up for failure if the dates all come too quickly and too close to one another. Remember, you have the entire year to work with. Spread your work out and give yourself a good chance for success. To finish off your action list, assign people to accomplish the tasks. Have a primary and a secondary person assigned to each item. While it may not always be necessary for two people to work on a particular project, proper planning calls for contingency thinking. So having a second individual assigned will give you the backup you need should your primary person drop out of the picture for some reason. Now we have a strong action list. We have all of our goals and objectives. We have assessed their feasibility and budgeted for the resources they'll require. We've assigned start dates and completion dates to them. And finally, we've assigned responsibility to complete the tasks.